I'm in your face.
What is up, Hot Wheel homies? It's Mark McHotwheel back again with another podcast. That's 2 days in a row. What's the deal, Mark? Where'd you get all this extra energy from? Well, I'll tell you. I don't know. But I figure I need to catch up a little bit on some podcasts, give you guys some more listening material while you're at work, while you're customizing. I doubt you're going to be listening to this while you're out there hunting for Hot Wheels. But today, we're going to talk about something extremely important. We've covered it before, but we're going to kind of go over kind of everything of just the frustrations of collecting. And not so much just Hot Wheels. This kind of goes for Pokemon card collectors, baseball card collectors, like all the collectors out there. Maybe you collect vases, or however you say it, vases. But there's some major frustrations, and let's just talk about how to deal with them and how I deal with them, because you just can't get too worked up about some of these things that are completely out of your control. So, you know, and everyone deals with different frustrations, because some of us hunt for Hot Wheels all the time. There's guys out there every single day hunting for Hot Wheels every day. There's guys just hunting for older Hot Wheels, and everybody has their different frustrations, and there's different aspects of collecting or modifying or whatever your thing is. You're going to have different levels of frustration. But remember that this is a hobby, and that you can't let these kind of things and frustrations define how you're feeling, the rest of your day, how you're feeling, how you treat people around you. You know, it's just a hobby, and they're just toy cars. And I know that may set some people off the wrong way, just to say that they're toy cars, but they are. Of course, they're toy cars for adults, a lot of them, not all of them, but you get to the more premium cars, and those are specifically, like I like to say, for adults. So if you're out there hunting and you've got empty pegs and there's nothing to find and you're just frustrated, oh, this store doesn't have it, this store doesn't have it, what happened to Hot Wheels? They're not stocking anything anymore. Well, I think it's gotten better, but for that dry spell, and there may be more, who knows? I mean, we're in a recession, no matter what anyone says. So there's supply chain issues, that kind of stuff, COVID. So when there's nothing in the store, find another avenue. Maybe, you know, get some online if you can. Maybe some used ones. You know, go to different places online. Maybe buy a lot of cars, not like a lot of cars, but a lot of cars. So a car, like a bunch of variations. Someone's selling a lot of, 25 Nissan Skylines or whatever you're into. You can also dabble in different areas that you haven't tried out before, because a lot of people say, oh, no, that's not for me. I don't want to do customizing. I'm not artistic, I would say a lot of people out there that customize now and that just started doing it would beg to differ, because they may not be specifically built for that kind of thing, but they enjoy doing it, and it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Do what you love. So how do you know you don't love to modify cars, tiny cars, if you haven't tried it yet? So I encourage everyone to try different aspects of this die-cast world and these hobbies that you're doing. So maybe it's not for you, but you tried, So that's something that I kind of come and go from. Sometimes I'll modify cars. I'll do some customizing for a few weeks or a couple months, and then I'll stop for a while. But it's one of those things you can totally just stop doing for a while and pick up and do later, because, of course, I've been in the middle of selling my house and all that stuff and starting a business. And haven't had time for that. but you can literally put a pin in it and come back to it later. And so there's just maybe have you bought any premium cars? Have you tried out Eno 64, Mini GT? Have you purchased one of those cars before? Because that doesn't require hunting, at the store. You can purchase those online. My favorites, the Kaido House cars, the 510s and all that. That's my new deal. I've really, really scaled back on collecting mainline cars. It gets so overwhelming when you're constantly buying like all the ones you like a Celica, a Supra, a Celica Supra. All these cars that you have to have. You feel obligated to buy all these mainline cars because you like that model, or you like the way they look, or you like the color. Ooh, shiny. So don't feel obligated to collect all the main lines and all the premiums like you have to have them all, because you don't. And I feel like this is something that's really not talked about that much in collecting, because we're constantly encouraging each other to buy more. We're like, yeah, get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you've got a million Hot Wheels. Go, go, go. But sometimes you need to like take a step back and find a healthy balance in collecting. Not getting too much of something, and not having a problem, basically addicted to purchasing all the Hot Wheels you can possibly afford, or not afford because you put it on a credit card. So find that healthy balance in your life, or have your buddy help you find that balance, or find that balance together with one of your diecast buddies, because it's really important to have that balance. Because I was buying tons of basic cars, hundreds a month, and it really adds up. They are $1 cars, but once you buy 200 $1 cars, that's $200. And you could have bought a few premiums. You could have bought that Kaido House car. You could have bought that Mini GT Tarmac Works. You could have bought a few of those that are really cool cars, very, very highly detailed, and you have less stuff. So just for some of you out there, I'm not telling everyone that's how you got to be. That's how it is, because that's not my place. But what I'm talking about in this podcast is to think about it. Think about where you're at, if your collection's healthy, if you're feeling mentally healthy from it. I know finding super treasure hunts is a lot of people's deal. You get like a dopamine rush into your head because, wow, I found this rare car. But remember, it's just a car. And that, driving to 100 different stores, spending a bunch of gas just to find that one car, it may or may not be worth it for you, for your mental health. So find that balance, whatever it may be. I'm not telling anyone to stop doing what they're doing. Just take a second and evaluate where your collection's at, where you want it to be. Are you collecting too much? Are you not? Do you not have enough Hot Wheels? I don't know. Maybe you need to go out there and buy some more. It's definitely not me. But for me personally, I feel so much better when I can go to a store, Fred Meyer, Walmart, whatever. I can go into that store, I can look, I can walk up and down the aisle, and I can walk out with nothing. That feels good. Nothing I have to have. It's not, if it's a Datsun 510, I'm really focusing on my collection to be Datsun 510, maybe R35. Certain cars I really want to have. I want to have all of the Datsun 510s, which is unfortunate because they're so expensive. But if there's this, if there's this cool M2 car that I have to have, I'll get it. But if it's not in the budget at the time, I'm going to leave it there. Or if I don't really have to have it, I don't foresee myself putting that on the shelf, and, I'm not going to buy it just to buy it and just to have it in a box somewhere. Some people are into that, but I want to be able to have my diecast out and to go, oh man, that was a good find, or I love that car, I love the color of it. It's beautiful. I love the craftsmanship of that car. But I'll tell you what, some of my favorite cars are my customized cars that people sent me, gifts. You cannot put a price on those. So make friends with people. Maybe purchase a custom off of somebody online because it's going to help them out greatly financially. A lot of times it's extra money for them. It'll help pay for all the paint and all the stuff that they buy because it's fun for them. So, if you buy a custom from somebody, that's somebody's time. That's somebody's artwork that you're purchasing. It's not something that rolled off the assembly line. It's not a super treasure hunt that just came with a different paint job and some rubber wheels. It's so much more than that. So I encourage you to try buying some custom cars from people too, because you can find that on Instagram. You can find it on, their websites. You can, like I said, you can try it yourself. It's a lot of fun. But, really, this week, if you're listening to this podcast, really evaluate where you're at with your collection, because it's a really good feeling to scale down and to downsize. Because sometimes it's just not good to have too much stuff, because that's what it is. I mean, no matter what you want to call it, it's stuff. And if you're surrounded by thousands and thousands and thousands of Hot Wheels, it can get a little bit overwhelming sometimes for you. Now, we've interviewed collectors that have thousands and thousands, like Bruce Pascal, but he's got some space for it. He's got the money for it, and it brings him joy. As long as it's bringing you joy and not frustration and emptiness, then continue on. Feel free. But it's one of those things that I'll tell you what, I feel a lot better when I'm not buying a ton of diecast lately. I haven't bought barely any. I've bought some of the Kaido House cars, and then I bought a Tarmac Works Datsun 510 premium car that I just love, and it's just nice to have a little less quality, not quantity, for me now. Then, you move on to, for the total frustration, the scalpers, the people out there that are buying things just to sell things, That's not going to go away, and that's in every hobby. So you got to work around it. The best thing you can do is don't buy from them, and tell others to don't buy from them. Because if people are buying these cars from them, then it's going to fuel that fire, and it's never going to end. And that's really where it stops. You telling them not to do it is not going to make them not do it. That's a fact. So the more you complain about these scalpers and they're ruining the hobby, yeah, they kind of are, but it's not. It's if you let them ruin the hobby, they will. But don't let them, and don't go down to that. Don't go down to where they're at. Don't stoop down to where they're at. So, I mean, if you don't buy from them, they won't make any money. They won't do it anymore. But that's just something that, it's going to be talked about for a long time. There's major frustrations. You're going to have guys that are in the store cracking the boxes, getting there before you. But they're just cars, guys. They're just cars. They're tiny toy cars. And they're cool. And we all enjoy them. And it's frustrating for sure. But the main thing you can do is just not buy from them and tell others, spread the word to have others not buy from them, because then they won't make any money and they won't do it anymore. So that's my thoughts on it. You can make it more complicated than it is, and you can complain a lot, but it's not. Complaining it's not helping. It's just fueling the fire, because those guys love when people complain about it. They don't really care. They're not worried about your feelings, and it's pretty apparent. So they're scalpers, and like I said, every hobby has it. Pokemon cards, Funko Pops. They got chase cars. Everything has chase cars or kind of super treasure hunt type of deals now, and everybody sees dollar signs. So we live in a greedy society. There's a lot of greed out there, but you can set the example by giving cars to charity, giving cars to your local food bank, doing whatever you can to give back more to your community. I will be launching I'm trying to make Hot Wheels for Hope officially a nonprofit. So I have created a website, purchased the domain name hotwheelsforhope.org. Haven't launched it yet because we want to get it up to, get some pictures up and get everything set up, because we are going to be doing another fundraiser this year, raising cars for kids all over the world. We're going to have people just donate to their local hospitals or food banks or whatever works best, where there's, kids, less fortunate kids, sick kids, people that are just less fortunate, or, maybe adults that can get it to their kids. So we're going to we're going to do a little different this year. We're going to have people just report how many they donated, and I'm going to try to make it work to where on the website people can punch in how many they donated, so we can get a running tally on how many cars were given on that day, because we're just going to do it for one day. So we'll have more details. David, Twice Diecast, and I, and Chuck, and anyone else that wants to help is welcome to help and spread the word once we do that. I'm trying to remember the date off the top of my head. I think it was October 1st, I think is what David came up with, what he wanted to do. And that works well. So put that on the calendar, guys. If you've got cars to get rid of, if you want to do any downsizing, maybe there's a kid out there that needs that car more than you do. And you can do some real good out there and help kids and help people. So, yeah. So that's exciting. I plan on hopefully getting that website up soon. Because I do, I bought the rights to it and all that good stuff. So then, we've got other frustrations, like other collectors. When you go to the store, you're standing there, you're looking at cars, you're looking through the cars. You're a collector. They're a collector. They're standing right next to you. They're also like in your space looking at cars too. There's no law that says they can't reach in there and grab something. Is it rude? Absolutely. But there's no law. You're not going to call the police. It's not in the Constitution that they can't grab a car that they see on the shelf. So, of course, we can be courteous to each other and let each other kind of have the space and look through the cars and pick what you want and then go. But don't expect people to be like that. And if they do that, if they reach over and grab something and they take it, it's not against the law. It's a store. They're not all yours unless there's something I don't know that you own the store and everything in it. They can grab something and walk away and buy it. So just remember, there's being polite, but not everybody's polite. We deal with a lot of people. I mean, I'm in the customer service business, so I deal with a lot of rude people. So don't let that ruin your day. Don't let it bother you. You can go and rant somewhere about it, but it's not going to help. It's not. So just remember, it's the store. People can, if you're a towel collector and you're looking for that rare blue towel, and you're standing in front of the towels, you're kind of just looking around. I got to find that blue towel. And someone comes in, and they see the blue towel, and they grab the blue towel. It's their blue towel. They own it now. They're going to go walk and buy it. So don't get too frustrated about that. I mean, common courtesy, of course, but that it's people are rude. I'm not going to excuse it, but it's how you handle those situations. You just move on, because there's no reason to let it ruin your day when somebody does something like that. Just be the example. Is simply, be respectful of other people's space. If they're over there looking at cars, don't go in there and be that guy. Don't be that guy or gal. So that's something that can be very frustrating too. Another thing that I've experienced at least once or twice is trading cars. There's a lot of people that have had really good experiences trading cars, but there's a lot of people that have had really bad experiences. I've had bad experiences too, and time wasted. Someone says they want to trade, and you're trading a bunch of cars for their one car, and you send them a ton of pictures, and you're talking for several days, and then they just ghost you, or they say they're not interested anymore. So just be careful, be ready for that kind of stuff. If you're a new collector, you just really got to find someone that's like a friend of a friend that you can trust if you're going to trade. It goes back to the greedy thing. A lot of people are just kind of looking out for number one, so they don't really care if the trade is fair, even. So just be careful trading. I mean, it's much easier just to trade at a convention or a show if you have one in town or you can find one. Some people, will just trade you, hey, I'll trade you this for this. But, trading can be really frustrating. So do your research on that seller. If you're on like Facebook or a Pacific Place, excuse me. Because, you may have a sour experience, but also don't let that kill it for you. You can still find some, friends out there that you can trade with. Maybe you can trade them a bunch of premium cars that you want to get rid of, or vice versa, get rid of a bunch of basic cars that you've had over the years that you just want to get rid of, and maybe you want some premium cars. So there's a lot of good ways to do it, but, just go in to a trade with someone you don't know with a little skepticism, because you never know. So trading can be frustrating for sure. I've been there, so I don't do a lot of it. In fact, I don't really want to do it at all. So after some of the experiences that I've had. So the other frustration is RLC, Red Line Club. I'm pretty much officially done doing it. If somebody gets an extra car, they have a couple accounts and they want to grab me one, I'll pay them for it. I've been blessed enough, really, to have friends like David and Chuck that have grabbed me, that Hako Skyline or the 510 or whatever, and I just pay them for it, or they just give it to me as a gift, and because they're just very generous people. But when you're ordering, it's just it's very frustrating because there's so many bots and everything that when you're sitting there, you're taking time out of your day. I mean, there's people out there that take the day off to try to get this car. I'm not kidding you. There's people out there that take the day off. And if you're that person, I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of you. But I would never do that. But I've definitely been at work where the time rolls around where that countdown's dropping and I, run to the bathroom or run outside and I'm on my phone or whatever. I've already got my payment information in there and everything, and it's just like go time. It's like, for me, it's like the time of like when I used to, like when eBay was kind of a new thing and you're bidding on something and it's just down to the wire. It's just that rush. But lately, that rush is just sheer disappointment and frustration and stress, because it says like, it puts it in your cart and then you go to pay and it says, sorry, we're sold out. There's no cars for you. So it's, if you're new, if you've been doing it a long time, RLC, I really hope that they come up with something better for collectors and kind of take the bot situation out of it somewhat, because it's possible. But that can be a very frustration thing. If you don't know what RLC is, don't even worry about it. If you're like, hey, Mark, what's RLC? I'm like, it's nothing. Don't even worry about it. Don't get involved. Keep your sanity. Go buy a Kaido House Datsun 510 or R34 or Datsun Z. Those are cool. And you can click online and it'll show up in a couple days. So, yeah, there's a lot of frustrations in collecting. But always remember that it's a hobby, that, you have friends and family. You can always reach out to me, drop me a comment, hit me up on Instagram, Datsunman Diecast, Hot Wheels for Hope, and ask me questions about collecting and how can I make this a healthier thing for me, because I feel kind of overwhelmed, because the last thing you want to do is have a hobby consume you, and that's something that's it's not talked about very often, because everyone's encouraging you to buy more, and you're constantly wanting to buy a bunch of stuff to show people what you got. So remember that, it's quality over quantity for me right now, personally. And when I can walk into a store and walk out with no diecast, and I looked at all kinds of diecast, and I enjoyed looking at them too. I mean, I get sometimes just as much satisfaction at looking and seeing what's out there, maybe recording it to show others, and not buying anything. Because I just need to like get my collection down to a smaller state, and that makes me feel better. So do whatever makes you, feel better physically, mentally, because you don't want this hobby to completely consume you. And that's, something you're not going to hear too often because, like I said, more, buy more. And it's really, shouldn't be the case. So I hope it's Saturday morning. I've got to clean my garage out, so I got to go. Moving. That's a frustration, but it's a good frustration because I'm, moving to a place that's going to be a lot more quiet. You're not going to hear the train going by all the time, traffic out front, rice rockets, Toretto, that kind of stuff. Dom's not going to be in front of my house. Brian, Earl Spillner. So I really appreciate everybody that's been listening to my podcasts. I hadn't been posting for a while, and it was the channel, the podcasts were still growing. I was getting more downloads. Not far off from 1,000 downloads, which to me is big. I appreciate everyone that can leave a review on Spotify or, Amazon. I think I've got a few on Amazon, or just share this podcast with your Dotson, or not your Dotson, but your diecast homies, or your Dotson homies. I don't know. I mean, Dotson guys like, to talk about Dotsons, and that's pretty much all I talk about. So, and then also, I talked about this in my last video on YouTube. I went over the Kaido House cars that I bought. I bought like 4 of them, and then I bought that Tarmac Works 510, which is awesome, by the way. Go out and buy it. But don't buy too many of them. So, I'm losing my train of thought. I haven't had my coffee yet. So, I appreciate everyone that listens to this, that shares it. More than you'll ever know. Dane Self, huge shout out to him. Edward G, people that always comment, that always listen to my stuff. There's 1,000 people that do. Those are just 2 people that come to my mind that are everywhere in my stuff. They're always commenting and encouraging me to keep going, and they're following my detailing page, and just, Dane Self is always leaving a comment. He's the only one that leaves comments on Spreaker.com, because this posts from Spreaker, but I also post it elsewhere. He's the only one that always comments. So if you guys can leave reviews or, download, share, that's appreciated, because that's why I do this. I've had some people reach out to me and tell me, that's why I started a channel, and that's why I started doing this or that, because I'm just trying to encourage people, because we just need more of that in this dark world. So God bless everybody. Again, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm glad I got a few minutes here to step aside and go over some of the stuff with you. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree. What point was, a good point that hit home for you. Yeah, just let me know in the comments below. I love comments. I read every single one of them. So God bless you guys. Have a good day. I will see you in the next podcast. I'm in your face.